If you were into muscle cars in the 60s and 70s, or just wished you were, chances are you knew Mopar meant business. Dodge and Plymouth didn't just make fast cars. They made purpose-built machines that showed up at the drag strip on Saturday and took you to work on Monday. Let's get right into it. Here are 12 of the fastest and most powerful Mopars ever produced. No fluff, just facts. Long before Hemi was a household name, the Max Wedge was already turning heads at the strip. In 1962, Plymouth stuffed a 413 cubic inch V8 into the lightweight Savoy body. It wasn't subtle. Twin four-barrel carbs, high-flow heads, solid lifters, and long ram intakes made it a serious threat. Output was rated at 410 to 420 horsepower depending on the setup, but real numbers were probably higher. These cars were built to dominate superstock drag racing. With slicks and good tuning, low 12s or even high 11s were possible, and this was in the early 60s. No computers, no traction control. By 1971, the Hemi Cuda had already earned its reputation, but that didn't make it any less special. With a 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, rated at 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, this car was all about brute force. Most were paired with a torque flight automatic, but a few lucky buyers got the 4-speed manual with a pistol grip shifter and a 4.10 Dana rear end. Magazine tests back then clocked it in the low 13s, with trap speeds over 105 miles per hour, solid performance for a car you could daily drive. Only 108 hardtops and 11 convertibles were built with the Hemi that year, making it one of the most collectible muscle cars on the planet today. The Sport Fury often gets overshadowed by later B-body cars, but it shouldn't. The 1964 model, when optioned with the Stage 3 426 Max Wedge, was a serious performer. Chrysler rated it at 425 horsepower, and it could run the quarter mile in the 13.5 range with proper gearing. This was the last year of the Max Wedge program before Chrysler pivoted to the Hemi in '66. The Sport Fury bridged that gap, a bit more civilized than the earlier Savoy, but still mean enough to shut down just about anything on Woodward Avenue. The Challenger was Dodge's answer to the Mustang and Camaro, and they came out swinging. With the optional 426 Hemi, the RT was available with either a 3.23 or 4.10 rear gear and your choice of auto or manual. It wasn't the lightest pony car, but with 425 horses and 490 pound-feet, it didn't need to be. CarCraft tested a 4-speed Hemi Challenger with 4.10s and got a 13.10-second quarter mile at 107 miles per hour, and that was on bias-ply tires. Only 287 RTs were factory equipped with the Hemi in 1970, and a lot of those cars were run hard and put away wet. Survivors today are museum pieces, and rightly so. Affordable performance was the whole point of the Roadrunner, but if you wanted to go all the way, you checked the Hemi box. That got you the 426 dual Carter AFDs, a functional air grabber hood, and beefed-up drivetrain components. Curb weight was around 3,800 pounds, but it still pulled off 0 to 60 in the low 5s and quarter-mile times in the 13.3 range. It even had a horn that went, which might sound gimmicky, until it left a GTO looking at taillights. (1971) Dodge Charger Superbird 426 Hemi. By '71, muscle car sales were slipping, and so was insurance affordability. But Dodge still made sure the Hemi was on the option list, even if few people took the bait. Only 22 Superbirds came off the line with the 426 Hemi in 1971. That alone makes it noteworthy. Add in the redesigned fuselage body, functional N96 Ramcharger hood, and available 4-speed with a Hurst pistol grip, and you had one of the last true street Hemi cars. Performance matched expectations. Mid to low 13s in stock trim, and faster with a good driver. Today, it's one of the rarest production Mopars from the golden era. Technically, the Dart was a compact, but when you shoehorned a 440 Magnum into it, the result was anything but small. Though most Dart GTS models came with 340s or 383s, a handful of 440-powered versions were built in 1969, both for drag racing and dealer display. These weren't easy to handle, nose-heavy, tight engine bays, lots of heat, but they moved. Quarter-mile times in the low 13s were common, and with headers and sticky tires, even quicker. It wasn't elegant, but it was fast, and it surprised a lot of bigger muscle cars. Before the Charger and the Challenger got the spotlight, the Coronet was Dodge's go-to muscle machine, and in 1966, they went all in with the W023 package, a factory drag car disguised as a mid-size coupe. The heart was a 426 race Hemi, built for the strip, 12.5:1 compression, aluminum intake, dual 770 CFM carbs, and minimal creature comforts. No radio, no heater, and lightweight bucket seats. With slicks and headers, these cars ran in the 10s. Even in factory trim, low 11s were possible, and that was in the mid-60s. Fewer than 60 were built, making them a rare piece of Mopar history that most people never got to see outside a staging lane. 1970 Plymouth Superbird 426 Hemi. Built with one purpose, get Richard Petty back behind the wheel, the Superbird was a wild combination of wind tunnel aerodynamics and brute strength. Its extended nose cone and massive 23-inch rear wing made it unmistakable. Under the hood, the 426 Hemi gave it serious muscle. Officially rated at 425 horsepower, but the numbers didn't tell the whole story. Test results varied, but high 13s to low 13s were typical. Not bad for a car that looked like a rocket ship. And even though only 135 Hemi Superbirds were produced, their impact was huge on NASCAR, on pop culture, and in every kid's Hot Wheels collection. Thanks to Bullitt, the '68 Charger might be best remembered for flying through San Francisco. But off-camera, the real action happened at the track. The RT came standard with a 440, but a few buyers ticked the 426 Hemi option. About 475 did in total. That got you twin Carter carbs, forged internals, and a car capable of 13.5-second quarters at over 105 miles per hour. It was heavier than the Roadrunner, but made up for it in presence and straight-line speed. And the Coke bottle styling? Still one of the best designs of the era. This one's a bit of a curveball. It's not the most powerful car on this list, but it earns its spot for balance and capability. Built to homologate Dodge's Trans Am series entry, the Challenger TA came with a 340 cubic inch small block topped with 3 Holley 2-barrels, the famous 6-pack setup. Output was 290 horsepower officially, but real-world figures were closer to 325. With a fiberglass hood, side-exit exhaust, and front-to-rear rake, it looked ready for the track and handled better than most Mopars of its day. It wasn't just about quarter miles. The TA brought handling to the party, and for a brief moment showed that Mopar could do more than go fast in a straight line. We end this list with Dodge's modern farewell to high-octane insanity, the Demon 170. This isn't just the most powerful Mopar ever built, it's the most powerful production muscle car, period. 1,025 horsepower, 945 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 1.66 seconds on a prepped surface. quarter mile in 8.91 at 151 miles per hour. NHRA banned, just like the original Hemi cars. Dodge engineered this car to be street legal but track ready, using E85 fuel to unlock its full potential. No trans-brake gimmicks or drag radials required. It came equipped for war. Only 3,300 units were planned, making it not just an engineering statement, but a collector's dream. And for Mopar fans, it's a perfect full-circle moment. A modern car with old-school attitude, built to embarrass supercars and salute a legacy that started over 60 years ago. From factory drag specials to limited-run legends, Mopar has always built machines that punched above their weight and left a permanent mark on the muscle car era. If you grew up around these cars or just admired them from the sidelines, you know the feeling. These weren't just fast cars, they were the heartbeat of a generation. Thanks for watching.